Hi Nesrin, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm fine. Can you see me well?
Yes, I can hear you and I can see you.
Okay.
And today we are with you. You are from Mardin, as you told us. Could you please talk about yourself a little bit?
Okay. Of course, I am Nesrin. But first of all, I want to thank the Arzu for inviting me. And thank you all friends working hard for this event also. And I am very happy to participate Istanbul Jewellery Week. I am very excited. Therefore, if I forget some words and I cannot express myself truly, please forgive me in advance and help me that time, please.
Yes, sure, it's totally fine, don't worry.
I want to
Uh,
you. I was born in Mardin actually, but I grew up in Mersin, and 2007 I graduated from Mersin University, uh, Faculty of Fine Arts, Jewelry Design and Metal Craft Department. And then I made a master degree in sculpture, and then PhD degree in ceramic art. And during my PhD, I wrote a thesis titled "The Development of Historical Jewelry and Contemporary Jewelry Design Combination with Metal Clay and Ceramic Clay." Um, and then I returned to Mardin. Currently, I am working to be assistant professor at Mardin Art University, Fine Art Faculty. At the same time, I am the head of handcraft department, jewelry design department, and I have many published articles about jewelry design, contemporary jewelry, and using alternative materials in the jewelry design. Um, I also participate in many national and international group exhibition also. Uh, and I am thinking about me. And I have three solo exhibition also. And one of them exhibited in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. It was a beautiful exhibition that I will never forget. And nowadays, all students not at school due to the pandemic, and we do our lesson on internet. So I spent most of my time creating jewelry in my small workshop at school. I am using in office two parts. One of part is my academic work for academic working. The other part is for creating jewelry. Also, that's all about me.
Actually, you have really good background on jewelry, not just for jewelry, also ceramic and sculpture. It's really nice. So, what does it mean that using alternative materials on contemporary jewelry?
Oh yes, um, you all know that the jewelry has been used for so many purposes and reasons, such as beliefs, magic, protection, or ornament, since the human being have existed. And the meanings of jewelry have changed and expanded with developing human and ages. Admittedly, if you ask people what jewelry is, they will say they are ornaments that made from precious metal or precious stone. But today, we see that the jewelry is not only used for decoration body or isn't just made precious metal. Jewelry is seen as brand of art, and for me, in order to make a strong expression in jewelry art, the material limit must be removed. Then I think the answer of your question is this. In addition to these materials, such as gold, silver, enamel, ruby, and diamonds that have been used in classical jewelry for thousands of years, any material can be used. I mean, organic or inorganic, valuable or worthless is an alternative, such as gold and plastic, and coal and silver. Even resin and wood can give an example using different materials together. And today we see that the artist can use anything as a material. And the most important thing at the jewelry creation process for me is artist's feelings. And at this stage, it is necessary to benefit from endless power of the materials. That's also. That's all.
So, but which kind of alternative materials do you use in your own collections?
Oh, yes, it's a good question. A little bit. Yes, during my education, I worked interdisciplinary. And making a master on sculpture and PhD on ceramic and graduated area in jewelry design broadened my horizon in every aspect. And I had the chance to work with many materials, such as ceramic, marble, clay, wood, resin, textile, metal. And during my education, I made large and miniature sculpture, and I made a mold, and I carved a wood, and I soldered a metal. And when I back to Mardin, I see a lot of traditional handicraft around me. For example, before I talk about it, maybe you listen it. There's a filigree, that traditional jewelry making technique, and the traditional copper metal crafts, and carving stone traditionally. And you know that Mardin is a well-known historical city and selected open air museum city also. When you're walking through the city, you can see a lot of traditional stone carving motifs on the buildings, and I impressed all of this. Therefore, I learned a lot of techniques, and I learned using different materials. But after training, I focused on jewelry design. Recently, traditional materials such as and techniques such as lace, embroidery, and knitting attract my attention. But my main material is metal clay. I want to talk about a little bit about metal clay. Metal clay is made from powdered metal mixed with the water and organic binding. And the metal clay is similar to traditional modeling clay. And when dried, it is transformed into a solid object through a firing process. And there is several types of metal clay, such as fine silver, gold, copper, bronze, and steel. And each metal has a different melting point and process. Mostly I am using silver bronze and copper clay. And that's all about material that I am using.
Okay, so let's continue with your collections. Can you tell us a little bit about your collections? Are there points of departure or stories, background?
Yes, of course. Actually, each of my collection based on a different stories. I have several collections, but today I want to talk about my two collections. The first collection is that called Debris series. In fact, the Debris series has a story dating back in ancient times, prehistoric times. And this story for this series begins with the human for me. And I think the human are born, grow, and die. And this short period, we have experienced the things that affect also. And sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad, and sometimes we are broken. Then we get up stronger from that debris, or we cannot. And we have various sides and secrets also. And every person is a story. Every story is experience. And I used bronze clay while designing this series. And bronze clay refers to the material used in the period of history. Actually, I used very primitive method. I mean, I used my hand only while shaping these jewelleries. And I shaped colored ceramic pieces also, and I fired them at 1000 centigrade degrees. Every colorful ceramic pieces represent different people. And I drew this ceramic piece, and broken ceramic pieces refers to debris line. Then I put the pieces together with epoxy resin for making it strong. In other words, no matter how you disappointed, you can be stronger and stronger than before. And as you all know, every weakness is the new beginnings for humans. And I want to I want to talk about my works, the green one.
Which one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is a very special piece for me because 2019 it's exhibited in collective meeting in Portugal. I say
Yeah.
Portugal, and this is in the honorable mention award also. Yes, and it's very special for me, I want to say.
It's so nice.
Thank you. Now I want to talk about my another collection. Is lace series. Lace series is my favorite, and we are all know that dowry culture was very important in our country, but until the last 20 years. In the past, women used to prepare dowry box and fill it with lace, knitting, and embroidery before getting married. Just before wedding, these boxes spread to houses and shown to the guests. And this ceremony showed that the girls skillful. However, we see that such a ritual almost doesn't exist today. And the lace and embroidery, which are handcrafts belong to women, are about to disappear, unfortunately. And 2 decades ago, lace and embroideries used as a kind of communication language. And every motifs and figures had a meanings. Mostly women use this symbolic communication language also. If I give an example, there is a named El Küstü Motifs. It means that two sisters in love offend each other, and one of them made this motifs in order to give her a message that she broke it. And there is another motif named Kaynana Dili. It's named Mother-in-Law Tongue. And I tried to keep this culture alive a different way. And I used embroidery and lace that folded in dowry box in my collection. In this series, I used laces to be a pattern in metal clay also. I used also bronze clay and copper clay and silver clay. There is all material in this series. Yes, there is no longer a tradition of dowry, but there are deep experiences and symbolic expression that every lace has a wide creating these dowries. And yes, I also take advantage of the endless power of these materials also. That's all about my jewelry. Thank you for listening to it.
Actually, it's so nice. Also, we have a video and you are wearing it. But I want to say that it is so nice that you are picking, you grown up in a culture, because in Turkey we have different culture in different cities. For example, I'm from Smyrna, and for me, your culture is a little bit far away. I know it, but I didn't grow up in that culture, so it's so excited for me also listening you. And you are picking some traditional things and making some modern jewels, and it's so excited actually.
Thank you so much.
Okay, is there anything that you want to say else?
Thank you for me.
Thank you to you.
And today I wear some of my work, and this is a different series. In this series I used silver and resin also, and this is in the video pieces.
Is that same piece? Yes.
Yes, in small workshop.
It's nice.
Thank you, Oyku.
Thank you, Nesrin, for joining us. See you. Bye-bye.